Hey, Desiree here with Soulpath Astrology and this week's Oracle card readings. Welcome to video two for card two. If this was your selection, this is what you've got. But as always, I'm going to hold it hostage first and invite you guys to please love or like the video if you find value in it. Please subscribe to the channel, super helpful. And I love your comments. It's so lovely to connect with you like that. And we are going to get into the juice of this card, but first we're going to chat a little bit about the astrology because March has just been insane. It's going to continue to be insane. I'm sure many of you are feeling it. Is there like a sense of holy hell, what is going on right now? Is the world gone crazy? Has it gone mad? Kinda. We're in labor pains. We are in a massive squeeze right now. The 14th is going to be the full lunar eclipse. It is going to be evoking all kinds of stuff about what's real and what's not real. It's Venus has gone retrograde. This Venus is like last time she was retrograde in Aries was in March, April of 2017. So there's going to be some flavor of that. If you could remember what was going on for you then, this is going to be a little bit of something similar to that. There's going to be a kind of like a shade of what was going on back then. But more to the point, and I mentioned this in the first video, I want to invite you to think all the way back to like between '06 and '08, that time frame. Right now is a culmination of that. That was the last time that the lunar nodes, the nodes of fate, were doing the whole Pisces Virgo axis thing. This is a culmination, it's a completion of what got started then. And I really Oh, friends, I invite you to think back. Like, what were you doing? What were you trying to step into? Were you having a kind of an identity shift then that now is just, it is elevated at like 3 or 4 octaves higher than what you started at, and that you can. And this is what's so cool about this card, the Nine of Pentacles. It's a kind of culmination card. The 10 is the full culmination, but the nine, she's like, Mm. She knows her worth. She knows her value. There's a quality of as like a self-made business person here. There's a Pentacles are, it's about money. It's about prestige to a degree. It's about being somebody that knows what they're doing. There's this quality of like, well, and the other cool thing about it, we'll jump in. So she's a she, but she's got a falcon, which historically was, like hunting is sort of more of a masculine energy thing. And so she's embodying this balance between the head and the heart, um, wisdom around the discernment of when to say yes and when to say no. She's a realist and she's got fruits of her labor here. There's this deep invitation, if this is your card, to like lean into owning where you're at. And oh my God, it's about your self-worth. Like it's this invitation to take a really good inventory about everything in your life and ask yourself, does this meet the minimum requirements? Is it, you got to be this tall to ride? Is what in your life is not meeting that bar? Because right now, this month is the time you have to get rid of what no longer lines up, what maybe never fit that, what never lined up, or what's maybe over time no longer lining up. This is where it can get tricky. This is where I see a lot of people fall down, myself included, and why I've done it enough times that I suss it out pretty quick now. But where I get hung up on how it used to be, right? So there's this invitation to like get real with what's current right now, because if it's not actually currently measuring up, it needs to go. And she knows what she's doing. She's worthy of it. She's hunting out what isn't serving, what's an illusion, what is all talk, no action. Because as the Nine of Pentacles, there is this like harvesting, nearing the harvest. Like there's this opportunity to take a little time out, do some self-care, notice, praise yourself for the work that you've done, because honestly, it's been a long slog. If we're going all the way back, to the '06, '08 window, and what happened for you, what arose in that time frame that you started, that's been this like 3 steps forward, sometimes 4 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. It's just been this journey is coming to fruition. And I want to invite you into, was it something to do with being deeply authentic? Was it something to do with dialing into a kind of authentic expression of love that maybe back then felt so foreign and it felt so much like nobody would get it? that maybe you felt you were being overly vulnerable or overly honest or overly exposed in some way. And yet some part of you back then knew that you're like, if it's not this, it's fake. You know, if it's not this, I'm missing something. If it's not this pure expression, I'm still off the mark. You know, there's still flies in the ointment, sort of say. And that now we find ourselves in the proving ground, the squeeze. This is, we're squeezing the carbon to make a diamond right now. It's the final contraction push of how do you birth what it means to be from love, as love, radiating love in our chaotic, crazy mindfuck world where it's all wildly wobbling and crashing down because it was all predicated on a misunderstanding to begin with. It was all predicated on the understanding that we're separate and that you have to fight for your piece of the pie, and that if you don't, then someone else will take it, and that it's survival of the fittest, and we need to dog eat dog and push everyone and step on everyone to get to just to survive, just to get your one tiny little scrap. All of that is bullshit, and I know you know it. And this card is calling you to your wisdom place that knows that too. Hunt out the parts of you that you know are outmoded, that you know are not serving you, and hone in on, seek like a bird of prey with this, up in the sky with this perspective. Seek the truth and just laser on that and let the rest of it fall away. Where your focus goes, grows, to pull from a bumper sticker. Right now, our focus is so important. Tapping into that deep well of wisdom, tapping into that, we deserve better. Our planet deserves better. Your neighbors deserve better. The homeless on the street deserve better. We collectively, we're one pulsing breath of consciousness, and we all deserve better. Even those at the very top that maybe seem like they're balling, that they've had it made, that they're doing the thing. My God, you guys, they're the most separate. They're the most divorced from their bodies, from their planet, from home. From home. And they've been madly feeding this starving mouth of theirs, desperately trying to come home, but with the very thing that's pulling them even further away. And so have compassion for them and build the world for you, the one that you know in your gut and in your heart is true and is in alignment with love and with that knowing, that gnosis, that thing in your body that just fucking knows. Line up with that and express from there, and just know that it's worth it. It's worth the work. You're worth it. We are worth it. She is worth it. The planet herself is so worth aligning to. The stars, the cosmos. Our planet is in itself, it's part of an ecosystem. So let's bring her back into homeostasis. Let's bring her back into wholeness. Let's reunify ourselves internally, ourselves as a consciousness on this planet, and our planet in respect to those around it. Like, go as big as you want to go, and then you could even expand into our universe, like our particular solar system. How is it in relation to the others? And how can we bring our brightest light, our truest, purest expression? So I went way off on a tangent with that, way miles away from the card, but I hope that it landed. Oh, the energy is glitching. I hope it landed. I hope this serves. I hope that it finds you where it needs to. And know that if you want a container, if you want to explore this stuff with me, if you want to find a card and go off on a tangent and find that place where you can tuning fork to your own deepest resonance, to your own truth, I'm here for that. You can find a link to my calendar below. Breathe it in. Find how you orienteer to your truth and your authenticity and to that expression as love. Do it. Okay. Love you. The world needs you. Talk to you next week. Bye for now.